Hi everyone, my name is Charles. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a burger. So this really all originated from when I was younger. My dad and my parents didn't really like taking us out to eat too much, so they would cook for us. So me being a kid, I got curious. So I watched how they cooked these foods and eventually I started cooking on my own. So today I'm going to share some of that with you by making a smash burger. So I'm just going to go to Jewel real quick and pick up all the ingredients. So what you're gonna need is brioche buns, pickles, mustard of your choice, ketchup, ground beef, some seasonings, red onion, tomato, and then some lettuce, and some American cheese. All right, so the first thing you wanna do is you wanna rinse off your produce real quick. All right. Then before you rinse off your onion, you want to peel off the skin on it. So I cut into there. Just kind of go like this. And then you can peel off this layer right here. Alright, and I almost forgot to mention, you gotta take out these cores right here, which can be a little difficult to do. Just like that. There you go. Now we got our onions for our burger. Alright, and then we gotta slice our onions now. So you wanna make sure they're nice and thin right here, like so. Alright, then to go along with our onions, I'm going to start cutting this tomato. Alright, then after we cut up our tomatoes, it's going to be a while before we use them, so I'm going to put some plastic wrap over them and put them in the fridge for a minute. Alright, then the next step is we got to cut up our lettuce. So, yeah. So, before you start cooking, you want to make sure you have a metal spatula to scrape the burger off the pan later. You want to make sure you have a stainless steel pan. It is very important that you have a stainless steel pan because it will be a problem if you use non-stick. You will not get the desired crust. I need a lid to melt the cheese later on. And then finally, I have a metal bowl that I'm going to put parchment paper on the back of to press the burgers later on. After you make sure you have all the right equipment to start cooking, I'm going to put this pan at a medium-high heat. And we're going to let that sit for a minute for the pan to heat up. Alright, so I'm going to be making 4 burgers, so I'm going to cut a third of... Alright, before you touch your seasoning bottles, you want to make sure that you wash your hands before to avoid cross-contamination. Alright, so I'm going to add smash seasoning and garlic butter seasoning. So, you just want to eyeball it, so you want to make sure you have, the more the better, that's what I'll say. Cut. Alright, then we want to mix our beef up real good. Get all of that in there. So just kind of knead it in, pretty much. And then after you mix your beef up, you're gonna wanna make it into little balls so it presses good. So I'm just gonna do that to all 4 of these right here. You don't want them to be too big or they won't fit in your pan. Alright, and you'll know if the pan's ready by just dumping a little bit of water on there. The water will beat around like that. So that's when you know the pan's ready to start cooking. Alright, so after we drop our meat into the pan, I'm just going to press it down as hard as you can. Yeah, press it down as hard as you can. Let it get really thin. Lift that up. There you go. And choke it. And we're gonna let that cook around for like, I'd say 3 minutes on each side.
3 to 5.
Alright, then after that 3 to 5 minutes is done, we're just gonna flip it like that. Press it down a little. And then first thing, we're gonna do my cheese out. Just place it right on top of it. Then to melt the cheese fully, I'm just gonna put a really tiny bit of water and cover it with your finger. So you just gotta scrape it off of there. It's good to go. Alright, then after you have your burgers cooked, you're going to want to place the bun in here to toast it. So put that on like a low heat and just let those sit for a minute. Alright, and you'll know your buns are done and they're nice and lightly toasted like that. I'm just going to place that right there. Alright, so I'm going to start dressing this burger up now. Tiny bit of mayo. Shake that up real good. And I'll put some ketchup. Alright, and then I'm just going to finish it. Put the burger right on there. Put one nice slice of tomato. Some red onion. A little bit of lettuce. There you go. Finished product. Now, time to get a review from my girlfriend.
Perfect.
Alright guys, and that's how you make a pretty decent smash burger at home. I hope you enjoyed the process of me making that, and I hope you all have a great day.